Hola mis amigos and possible amigas, my name is Taff316. Welcome back to another episode of Reading Your Comments, episode 228. As I mentioned last week, these will now be every 2 weeks going forward. Also, this series is not moving to Monday, despite today being Monday. This was supposed to be coming out yesterday, but I forgot days. And by the time I realized, it was kind of too late, and I'm like, oh, it's too late to make this and get it out to the patrons in a reasonable amount of time, so I guess it's coming out on Monday this week, but should still be Sundays going forward, every other Sunday. So, regardless what day it is, though, let's go ahead and read some comments. I think every 2 weeks is a great idea to get more variety that way. Well, I don't know about variety, but I think it'll make the videos longer, which is basically the goal. You know, I'd rather make a longer Reading Your Comments every 2 weeks and make a short one every week. So I think just for the sake of the videos and sake of me not pumping out, 7-minute Reading Your Comments every week, I think this is better. Love the videos, mate. Keep it up. Doctor Who and Torch would have been so fun to watch your reactions to. Will you be reacting to Nativity 2 at Christmas? I know it's a little early, but the first Nativity reaction was awesome. Cheers. Well, thank you. First of all, and second off, yeah, the first Nativity reaction was 2 years ago, I think. Nativity 2, or was it 3 years ago? Nativity 2 was actually on my short list for Christmas month last year. It didn't end up panning out, but it should definitely happen this year, I think. I already have a copy of it. Oh, The Worst Witch is a great idea, the 80s one, no, not the modern one. Oh, there's two of them. That makes sense, because I looked it up the other day, and I'm like, this looks like a relatively recent show. Interesting that many people are interested in me seeing this, but there's an 80s version. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. All, if not most, of Grizzly Tales for Gruesome Kids can be found on YouTube in full. Well, that's good, because I'm planning on doing a lot more of them. Like I said, before the month ends, I'm gonna, do one more video where it's, maybe 4 or 5 episodes of the show all in one video, just to get a lot of them done at once to end the month. May even upload that on Halloween. I don't know. I definitely want to do something Halloween themed on Halloween. It could be that, it could be something else. I haven't completely decided yet. Any new Benidorm episodes coming up? Unfortunately, I've talked about this before, the copyright seems to be different on the upcoming series. I think we're on series 6, and the next 4 episodes of the show will have to go on OneHub. So whenever I get the compression done, we'll get on those. I'm begging for the days when sidestep to your right/left starts getting used in Nightmare. These tank controls are tough to watch sometimes. I'm all up for twice monthly episodes, but do what works best for you. I probably will have to switch to 2 episodes per video just because the show's so long. There's a lot of series. So I'm not sure if I'm going to start that next month or in January, though. Might do it in January. I have riddles, goddammit. Bro, I felt so bad for Granite Ass. He was just like, bro, listen to my fucking riddles, please. The little kid's just like, anyway, should I take the purse or whatever? He's like, dude, hello, me. I'm the main character right now. Listen to my riddles. I think the talking bits in season 1, Chewing the Fat, is where the name of the show come from, as they're both chewing the fat, which means chat in a leisurely or prolonged way. Yeah, I get that part. I understand. They just weren't good. That's my gripe. I understand. I get what they're going for. They just weren't good is my problem. To give you an example, the Mitchell and Webb look, which I also did this month, they had talking segments like Chewing the Fat did, but theirs were actually funny, They weren't just talking about stupid shit that nobody cared about. They did real, meta segments like that, but it was funny. Greg is Scottish/Canadian, which is why his accent sounds strange. He was born in Scotland, but spent most of his childhood in Canada. Okay, that makes a lot of sense, I guess. It is a very weird combination of accents. Stowgame was originally scheduled to play 4 dates at the Hydro in 2014, but demand was so high that it increased to 16 and then 21. A total of 210,000 people attended the shows. Jesus Christ. Like I said, and it really helped put it in perspective when I watched the Hydro. You never, I know the show's popular, but you never really know how popular when you're from the outside looking in. And regardless of how much I've seen of the show, I'll always be from the outside looking in, obviously. But just those numbers alone really puts in perspective how much of a fucking institution it is. I'm a bit sad that Paul Winston was not interviewed for the documentary. I don't know if he just chose not to or wasn't interested or something. Yeah, I thought I was going crazy. I mentioned it at the end, I was like, wait a minute, was he not in this at all? I thought maybe he was just in for a segment and I had missed him, but no. he wasn't. I guess he just had something else to do. Victor looks genuinely old in this. I mean, they're honestly at this point probably close to Jack and Victor's actual ages. Like, what are their... Let me look it up. What are their actual ages now? Because, I mean, they're gotta be getting there. Ford is 61. So, yeah, he's about there. Greg is 53, though. I don't think they've chosen anyone better than Rick Mail for Grim Tales. I mean, again, it's just his pure... He's all go, you know? All the time, you know? It's 100% just all the time with him, which is what made him so incredible. Like, you're never getting... You get him for something... You're not getting 5, you're not getting 10, you're not getting 50, you're not getting 75, you're not even getting 95, you're getting 100. Rick has an incredibly unique voice. He does. Like, he's one of those where, like, once you've heard his voice once, you see him in something else, even if he's, like, disguised or something or just doing voice acting, you immediately recognize it's him. Anyone remember those Nintendo ads that Rick Mail did in the early 90s? They were so good. Why am I speaking like this right now? I don't know. But I don't think I've seen those. Have I? I don't know. I've done so many adverts that they've gelled together in my brain at this point. So it's possible I've seen it and just haven't remembered. But if I haven't, that could be one for a future compilation. Harry Hill's qualified to know about these things because he's actually a doctor before he went into comedy. No joke. I actually didn't believe you. No offense. But I straight looked it up. And yeah, he was a doctor. So... that's a crazy career change. He must have just hated it. TV Burp will do well because it's funny and isn't a show that has become diluted because every other YouTube reactor is reacting to it. Plus, you have a better grasp of British humor, comedy, soap operas, and game shows than much ever do, having reacted to a wide range. Well, I appreciate that. And also, you're right. Not a lot of reactors have done it, and that's kind of weird, isn't it? Like, well, first of all, if they all start doing it, I want partial credit. But, like, it seems like such an easy show to do, you know? It's 22 minutes, it's funny, you get such a wide variety of things. You can get them all on YouTube. It seems strange that nobody else has jumped on this. Like, legit no one. I just looked it up on the YouTube search engine to see if, like, there was anyone else. My 3 videos came up first, and then the rest is just clips of the show. Unless there's one that's just, like, buried and has very little views, it seems I'm legitimately the only person that's reacted to the show, which is strange. Again, it's just like, I would like some little bit of credit if people start jumping on this, because I'm quite literally the only person who's fucking watched it on this website. TV Burp originally ran out of steam because Harry Hill and the show's researchers could no longer stomach the effort it took to watch all those hours of TV just to find humorous nuggets for a half-an-hour show. Yeah, less than half an hour, but that's fair, to be honest. I mean, everything runs out of steam eventually. It's just how it is. Unless it's like Coronation Street, and that'll just go on forever. Was wondering, is there an issue with Friday Night Dinner copyright? Because I'd love to see some more of it. This comment was from over a week ago. I bet you're happy now. Found a perfect episode of this show on YouTube for you to do in December called Harry Hill's Christmas TV Burp, broadcast December 30th, 2006. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. I looked up what you were talking about, and I found 2 of them, actually. I found one from 2006 and one from 2007, so I can slot those into my Christmas month. Restaurant in Our Living Room would be interesting. The drama is funny, and it's narrated by Robert Webb. I have never in my life, to my knowledge, heard of that. Restaurant in Our Living Room? Let's see. Restaurant in Our Living Room. Yeah, TV series, 2009, 2010. Let's see. Yeah, one series. It's a competition show? Each episode, or was there an American version too? No, this is the same show. The description says, each episode is a unique cooking show, features 2 couples competing to host the most successful one-night dinner service at their in-home restaurants. Could be interesting. The Chipper Chum style of speech and mannerisms from Grizzly Tales is a parody of Enid Blyton's, is that how you say it? Enid Blyton's famous 5 children's books. The books were also parodied in live action. The comic strip presents 5 Go Mad, which feature members of the cast of Young Ones you might be familiar with. Funny you say that, because once I get the One Hub thing, Young Hub, that sounds like an illegal website. That's what that sounds like. once I get the One Hub situation resolved or finished with, I actually have 2 episodes of the Comic Strip Presents on request, so those will happen. When you hear the beep, think of the fun you could be having on Supermarket Sweep. Okay, thank you, because the episode cut it off before he finished the line. Pete is the kind of shopper this show deserves. Bro, he was so good, he was bad. Like, he zoomed too fast. Like, if he hadn't, if there wasn't a rule against dumping stuff on the floor, or if he had simply picked the shit up, they would have won in a landslide. It wouldn't have even been relatively close. But, I mean, rules is rules. Oh man, you need to watch Off Wheatus and Pet Series 1, Episode 1. That's something I've been told about and had on my mind for a while. I don't think I can put it on YouTube. There are full episodes on YouTube, but I think they're all blocked in the UK. So unless I could get them unblocked, they're probably for One Hub. I think the lesson from the dog segment in Generation Games is if you're making a TV show and bringing dogs on, make sure your floor isn't too slippery for dogs to walk on. Clearly needed a proper rehearsal to spot that problem. Yeah, you'd think so. And also don't get assholes that just fucking drag the dogs along like they're fucking toys. That segment pissed me off so much. I have just watched a 4-part drama, The Reckoning, about how Jimmy Savile got away with everything in full view. It included interviews from some of the victims. Steve Coogan played a convincing Savile. It was harrowing. It was harrowing. Really? Steve Coogan played Savile. I'm not going to do a reaction video to that, but I may look at that in my free time. If you don't like the way the dogs are being handled in Generation Game, then you definitely don't want to do any Barbara Woodhouse reactions. I don't know who that is, but I guess you're probably right. Same, you can't get Series 2, Episode 2 of Friday Night Dinner on YouTube, one of the best episodes. Don't be so sure. That's all I have to say. Don't be so sure. Always wondered until recently about translation of Jim's exchange with Lady in Friday Night Dinner. I imagine he actually was speaking Chinese. If anyone has a translation, let me know. I saw the thumbnail of Simon Bird and thought it was the In-Betweeners, but pleasantly surprised to discover the show. I mean, that's how I discovered the show. It's a running meme it's been for years on my Twitch now, between me and my Twitch watchers, obviously. But I got so many, things like hundreds of comments on the In-Betweeners videos saying, you should react to Friday Night Dinner. It's got Will from the In-Betweeners in it. I've heard that 5 million times. I love how you spent so much time cringing at Friday Night Dinner. I mean, it's not the In-Betweeners, but it definitely brings that element over. Well, you didn't lie when you said you'd get another Friday Night Dinner done before the end of the month. Yeah, I got more than one done. Maybe another, we'll see. I don't think anything will ever top Series 4, Episode 1 of Friday Night Dinner for me, but this was sure close. Would love to also see maybe a weekly Have I Got News For You section since the new season has started, but unsure what the copyright looks like for the new episodes. I'm unsure as well. I've done, I've done new-ish episodes before. I don't know if I've done one while the series was ongoing. Maybe I did. Maybe the Charlie Brooker one I did was while that series was ongoing. I'll have to look into it. You should be able to get all episodes of Friday Night Dinner on YouTube as King Boomer has reacted to every episode. So I responded to this comment with a comment. And I want to clarify, it was not a shot at King Boomer. I have no idea who he is, to be honest. It was, what I said was just a statement of fact. I said in reply, he gets it all on YouTube because he makes the video a tiny sliver at the bottom of the screen and cuts the frame rate in half. That wasn't a shot, that was a statement of fact. I had never heard of him or seen any of his videos, so I looked up King Boomer Friday Night Dinner, and that's what he did. He makes a tiny sliver at the bottom of the screen, and he cuts the frame rate in half, and he messes with the audio. Not a roast, it's just what he does. He's more successful than me, so clearly it's working for him. From Wikipedia, 3-time guest panelist of Have I Got News For You, Stephen Fry, announced that he was boycotting the show following the sacking of Angus Deaton. Fry described Deaton's disposal as greasy, miserable, British, and pathetic. For a British there is pretty funny. Yeah, it was probably over the line, Paul and Ian took it very personally. I can kind of understand from Paul's perspective because, again, I've heard that their wives were friends and he was friends with Angus's wife, so he probably took it personally from that. And I get that they probably thought that maybe he would fuck up their careers by having him associated with the show going forward. But, I mean, and I'm not trying to downplay cheating. Cheating is bad, but it's not illegal. Prostitution is, and drug use is. They are both illegal, and he did both those. But, they're almost treating him like he was a sex pest, or that he killed a guy, and he did not. I always thought Angus's last episode of Have I Got News for You was when the allegations came out. I've never seen this one. I mean, it probably should have been his last one, considering just the number they did on him after. Alright, y'all, that's gonna do it for another episode of Reading Your Comments. The comments in this video were pulled from the following videos. Reading Your Comments 227, Nightmare 2, Chewing the Fat 2, Still Game the Story So Far, Still Game at River City, Rick Mail's Grim Tales, that rhymes, Harry Hill's TV Burp, Grizzly Tales for Gruesome Kids 2, Dale Winton's Supermarket Sweep 2, Bruce Forsyth's Generation Game 2, Friday Night Dinner 2, Friday Night Dinner 3, Have I Got News for You 13. If you want a chance to get your comment read in next week's episode of Reading Your Comments, or sorry, 2 weeks from now episode of Reading Your Comments, which again should be back on Sunday. The videos to comment on are this one and reaction videos from the next coming 2 weeks. Those are the videos to comment on if you want to get one chance to get your comment read in 2 weeks from now's episode of Reading Your Comments. Got to get that new outro down. That is it for me today, though. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to leave a like. If you didn't like it, don't. If you want to follow any of my social media links, they're all in the video description down below, as well as the names of all my patrons. Thank you to my patrons for supporting me on my channels. If you didn't know, you could be a patron of me for as little as $1 or £1, and you get access to reaction videos as well as reading comments up to date early, sometimes more. With all that being said, though, my name is Taffy16. It's been episode 228 of Reading Your Comments, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.